So last night we went to a concert, my girlfriend and I, and this particular concert wasn't an artist that I knew much about. Obviously, she showed it to me before, and I've heard some of his songs, and but I didn't. It wasn't someone that I was as familiar with as perhaps other artists. And I think one of the cool things about the event was he sung a song, and again, because I wasn't familiar about the artist, I didn't know all the lyrics. I didn't really know what the song was about. And at concerts, at least for me, the way the music, the instruments versus the vocals, I can almost never really hear what the vocals are as well as you can if you listen to something on like an iPhone or Apple Music, Spotify, whatever. Like a recorded, like a studio version of the song. You can always hear the vocals and you can make out, the lyrics and understand what the song's about, what they're saying. And obviously, if you go to a concert for an artist that then you know the song just based on the instruments and you can sing along because you just know the lyrics by heart because it's one of the artists you like. But in this case, this isn't an artist and that I just wasn't familiar with, so I didn't really know what the lyrics are. But you could tell at one point in one of the songs that the gravitas of the experience of having people in the crowd sing his lyrics back to him, he kind of got emotional. And I kind of got a little teary eyed, mainly because I could relate in the sense that I'm sure for him when he started recording or singing or started first playing music, probably had visions and dreams of, crowds and audiences singing his music back to him. And, through that process, that dream or that vision can become very real in your head. And you can see it very clearly, and you can see it when, things aren't going right or things are difficult or you might want to quit, or in the case of an artist, people might say you suck at singing or you shouldn't be singing or blah, 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 or what have you. And that was just, there was emotion there that I could relate with because, while I'm not a singer and don't plan to be one, I could relate to that core message of starting at somewhere with something, seeing what could be in your mind, and then putting in the time and the effort to start to build that and deal with the things that come up that might derail you from your vision. And for me personally, there's times where if I sit quietly by myself, no one else around, and really just sit and look and think and close my eyes of what I'm going to want to create or am creating or in the process of creating, that emotion is very, very real. I very visual, all the little details of everything. And so in that moment, I could just relate. And I'm not personally a big concert type person. I'm just not a huge person in crowds. But I think that's probably one of the coolest things about going to concerts is seeing the artist in person. Yes, seeing the music is great, but I think it's that little experience of seeing that person on stage recognize and realize a vision, before their eyes. And similarly, like going to Luke Combs earlier in the year, he kind of had a similar moment. Now, obviously, Luke Combs was, in this case, a much bigger artist, at least at the time, than the one we went and saw last night. Not that they're good, bad, or indifferent, just different stages of the journey. But you could again see Luke kind of get not emotional, but you could see him like realize playing in a sold out Mercedes-Benz stadium, I don't know, maybe 60,000 people. That's something that you dream about for years and years and years and years and years. And he's done it before. It's not his first time, but just still seeing someone experience in front of you their dream or what they've seen for themselves coming true. I think that's the best part about concerts is just watching someone experience something they've dreamed about. I think that's it's hard not to when you yourself are going through that process of doing something. I think that connects people on a deeper level than, I don't know, a lot of things. So, there's deep emotion in a vision, and I know a lot of people, it's said a lot, like you have to be very, very detailed and da 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 da, but to get visibly emotional over it is a whole nother thing. So, what you can take away from this is, when you're thinking about what it is you want to do or what it is you want to create, a lot of people say get very detailed and, think about those things in a very specific and graphic way, using a lot of adjectives and describing how things feel, like physically feel, like the stitching on something, or the leather, or the way these clothes fit, or the way the warm sun hits your face if you want to go to a beach, or the way the snow brushes over your goggles if you want to buy a ski house, or whatever the dream might be. I just think that was one of the coolest experiences last night. Was that weird connection with someone that I don't know.